Morning everyone. I said I would do a little catch-up video, and I suppose here we are. I've had a lot of time to kind of think about our session last week, and really I thought this was probably the easiest way to kind of send you my thoughts rather than a big, probably rambling email, to be quite honest. So here we are, kind of week 11. And I suppose what I really wanted to dispel was any thoughts. I did get the impression from some of you think I probably wasn't doing any exercises, and that is not actually the case. So I suppose I started off well, doing exercises daily, mobilising, etc. I've gone fairly quickly from 2 crutches to 1 crutch to no crutch. And I suppose as you've become more mobile, then the sort of need or the time to do that because you're busy doing other things in life kind of does tail off. But what I have realised is, that it is these kind of fine movements that kind of gives you the stability, if you like, that you're looking for. But I think there is definitely something in exploring the specificity of the exercise in isolation and actually combining that with function, because obviously it's much better for your patients to be functioning. So I have been doing some exercises and I have been looking for answers. I have found somebody on Instagram called the hip physio, so I have been doing some sort of short lever hip flexor exercises at the moment and some straight leg raises and controlled abduction. So I have actually been picking up other things. So I guess I'm trying to still get some of the pieces of the puzzle in place myself. So I just didn't want you left with the impression that I hadn't been doing anything, because that's not the case. But I suppose the challenge is, yes, they've only given me 3 exercises, but I suppose their lack of education and the lack of relevance to my life, or maybe to any patient's life, is something that I find quite interesting. So it is very much like you are left to get on with it, I suppose. And I suppose we spoke about that in the session last week, where they would have patients in hospital for a while. Now that is not cost effective anymore, and you would be doing you would be in the gym and you would be doing your exercises, increasing your resistance, etc. So how we manage people now is very different, and that is one of the challenges around self-management. So you are expected to self-manage, and as you say, somebody like me who is a physiotherapist, has done it at the job for nearly 20 years, it is quite interesting, as I say, and I still really can't answer the question. I suppose I feel things when I'm out walking and I think, oh, I need to do a bit more of that. So even when I get up off the seat now, I do sort of a little half squat just to try and get the glutes a bit more active. I am out walking a lot more, so I'm back up to sort of 7,000-8,000 steps a day, sometimes a bit more. Not at a speed that I would like, but I do realise that that's going to come. So it's not a quick fix. It's a 4 to kind of 6 month journey. But certainly I'm happy, but I think it's worth kind of considering these things. And that is one reason I came into education, was because I was very aware that we can give patients instruction, and we can think that they go away and they completely understand everything and they're going to do that, and actually they don't. And that was one reason I did my sort of MSc in teaching, because I'm aware this big gap. So we send our patients out at the end of an appointment and we think they understand everything and they're going to comply with everything, and the reality is kind of somewhat different. So maybe that is something we actually need to think about. So again, it's maybe a bit about your motivational interviewing. So when are you going to do the exercises? So planning with the patient how they plan to fit that in, so really giving them the best outcome of success. I do remember many years ago, my friend worked in cystic fibrosis, for example. She was a specialist nurse looking after young adults with CF, and they have a very rigorous physiotherapy regime. And she said to me, in all honesty, Amanda, some of my youngsters don't do the exercises at all. She says, and can I say that they're better than those that comply with their daily chest clearance? No. So I think there are some big questions for us to answer as physiotherapists. So I think it's very much about embracing that patient-centered model of care, doing the best you can, and really making people understand why they have been given the exercises they've been given. You've seen a very short window, although I think you have enjoyed the videos from the feedback I've seen, which is lovely. And I can certainly happy to record maybe couple, fortnightly updates if you're interested in following that journey a bit further. But I just say I didn't want you to think that I had been totally non-compliant, because that's not the case. But yes, I could have been more compliant, and I think it could have been sort of better, and I think there are things that are doing, but I am finding my way. So I'm definitely getting there. So we are week 11. I'm happy with where I am. As I say, I'm fine tuning it. I am looking myself. I have, as I say, got the hip physio exercises on board, so I kind of do my bridging and I do these kind of 4 exercises in the morning, so I can do a full kind of straight leg raise, and then add some abduction into that. Interestingly, I was doing a hip flexor stretch. I think I'd said to you last week that my hip flexors were quite sore on the left hand side, and I had obviously overdone it a bit on the bike. So I've been stretching that off because I'm aware that's feeling a bit tight. And I noticed when I went to do a hamstring curl, I got a very poor control there. So obviously, glutes and hams need a bit of work as well. So I have been working away on that. So there, I am not completely non-compliant like some of you might think I actually am. So anyway, I hope that's interesting. Thank you so much for all your feedback and your feedback on the module, and I shall speak to you soon. In fact, I'll send you a little video next week, because next week is Get Back on the Horse Day. Anyway, take care. Speak to you soon. Bye.